Hey, Tree City Church. I'm sitting here in our studio where a lot of the back end of our online worship gatherings have been taking place. I wanted to talk about three things with you real quick today. One, just a quick update about how we're moving forward and mobilizing as a church right now. Two, what that means for us in the near future. And then three, how you can begin now to pray and prepare to be a part of how God is calling us to point people to Jesus and inspire them to become a part of that mission during this season. I'm sure by now most of you have had a chance to take a look at what we are calling our comeback plan. One of the things that we've been saying since the very beginning of this pandemic is that things look different for us right now, but our mission and our vision remains the same. And so what we have recognized from the very beginning of all of this is that our focus as a church isn't going to be about what has been taken away from us, but on what opportunities we now have in front of us to continue pointing people to Jesus. As our state began to unveil the rebound plan over the last couple of weeks, we began to talk with a lot of other churches, a lot of leaders. We began to be in prayer about how best to move forward as a larger church and with a building that is used in such diverse ways by both our congregation and our community. And I got to tell you, we can't wait to get back together in large groups for worship and for other gatherings. We can't wait to see our building get back to being an active, vibrant place for our community, for our congregation, and for our ministries. But we also want that to happen in ways that allow us to provide the best experience possible that feels like Tree City Church, and in ways that allow us to keep the main thing, and that is our mission and vision of pointing people to Jesus and inspiring them to become a part of that mission. And right now, there's just not a great way for us to do that within the facility. And so our comeback plan has us gradually re-engaging our facility for ministry use. And right now, we're planning to begin having on-campus intergenerational worship gatherings beginning on June 28th while we continue our online worship gatherings. Then on August 9th, we're looking forward to a huge day where we're planning on having what we're calling our welcome home services, offering full ministries during our morning services, followed by our annual river baptism that afternoon. It's going to be an incredible day. We can't wait for that day. We have our entire comeback plan outlined and available for you to check out, to get familiar with on our website. You can go to treecitychurch.com/stay-connected, and we'll be giving weekly updates about where we're at in the plan. And then the second thing is, and speaking of our comeback plan, we decided not to call our plan a reopening plan because our church has never been closed. I mean, we've been seeing our small groups fight through the uncertainty and show resilience by learning an entirely new online platform for remaining connected in such a short time. People are throwing virtual drive-by birthday parties for each other. We've seen wedding receptions take place in streets. And then the church has been mobilizing to provide care for those who are hurting and grieving the loss of loved ones during this time. Our kids ministry and our youth ministry have been active online. They've continued to provide resources and connections online. And we've just been amazed at the resilience of the church during this season. Another amazing thing that has begun to happen is a partnership that we've developed with a local restaurant who each week has been gifting us with an extra harvest of food that's being packaged up into meals and made available to people. It's so cool that this is happening. So if you or anyone you know could benefit from this harvest gift, please email us at office@treecitychurch.com and we'll connect about how to make that happen. And then as we've continued to worship online together, God has added people to our fellowship who we are connecting with. And the way we're going to be able to engage in discipleship of new faith is going to increase each week as we roll out more ways to engage in ministry online. And so here's the deal, church. We have never been closed. In fact, I say we've never been more open as a church than we are right now. We don't go to church. We are the church. Church isn't something we do, it's who we are. And so our main goal as a church isn't just to get as many people back into the same room at the same time. That's called addition. Our main goal, our vision as a church is multiplication. How do we multiply the mission of pointing people to Jesus as many times over as possible? And how do we do that now as things look different for us? And so as we make our comeback plan happen, as we hear God calling us to come back, we're coming back deeper and wider than ever before as a church. Our 2020 focus has been on praying about how we can begin multiplying. And we've been talking about this as a church ever since the beginning of January, about how we can begin making disciples who make disciples. And we just see this as a remarkable opportunity to begin multiplying as a church. And so while we're eager to come back together inside our building and say, welcome home to everyone, what we want you to begin praying about and engaging with us in is how some of us can say, welcome home to people even within our own homes. Because here's what we are anticipating. The way in which the gospel has been advanced over the last couple of months has opened up doors for ministry and opportunities to point people to Jesus that will expand the way we advance the gospel forever in the future. I mean, I think time will tell, but we believe that people are craving community. They're craving hope, and we believe they will find that within a fellowship of believers and realize that hope through Jesus Christ. But because of this culture-shifting event taking place, the way, the method, or the vehicle in which people find that hope in Jesus and discover a community of faith, for some people in the near future, that method is going to look very different than going into a large building surrounded by a large group of people. As difficult as it may have been to get someone to walk through the doors of a church building before, we anticipate it will be even more challenging in the future. And so what we see happening is a movement similar to what we see happen when the church was born in Acts chapter 2. People gathering in homes, fellowshipping, praying, eating together, worshiping, and learning together as the church. We anticipate over the next several weeks as we progress through the stages of our comeback plan that we can begin meeting again in small groups. And so we want to begin preparing for that part of our comeback plan. As hard as we are working to prepare our building, as eager as we are to come back together as a large church family, we have an opportunity as a church to expand our ministry, to multiply our mission, and to begin developing ways for Tree City Church to plant even more trees in the valley, to provide even more shade in the desert as we point people to Jesus and inspire them to become a part of that mission. Church, I don't want us to miss it. I don't want you to miss how God is at work and how we can join God in this great mission. And so begin praying. Lean in with us. And each week as we continue to prepare how to come back better than ever, we will continue to share the steps that we're taking. We'll begin equipping, training, and preparing for Tree City Church to be what it has been for 117 years in this community. And that is a God-loving, Jesus-pointing, disciple-making group of people who won't let anything stop them from pointing people to Jesus. And so thank you for being the church. I love you, Tree City Church, and I am looking forward to worshiping with you online this Sunday at 11 a.m. God bless you.